Well, it's sort of traditional, I guess. You know, they say a woman's place is in the home, and I suppose as long as she's in the home, she might as well be in the kitchen. Huh.
What kind of job is that for a man? A nanny? I mean, it's like if a woman wanted to be...
Yes?
king?
Most women are happier at home. They are pretending that they like working, and they're not making money because they don't stay all night at the office. They don't go the extra mile. They don't work all weekend. You're making a mistake. You would be much happier at home with a husband and children.
Oh, boy.
What a delightful thought, you dear, sweet, fragile little thing. I adore you.
Women, know your limits. In thought, be plain and simple, and let your natural sweetness shine through.
I was practically a prisoner in my own home. But that's all changed now.
This is no simple reform. It really is a revolution. Sex and race, because they are easy, visible differences, have been the primary ways of organizing human beings into superior and inferior groups, and into the cheap labor on which this system still depends. We are talking about a society in which there will be no roles other than those chosen or those earned.
Wait for your call, love. Call never came.
You know, in my heart, I think the only alternative to being a feminist is being a masochist. The predominant reaction to the women's movement was ridicule. It took us a long time to be taken seriously enough to be opposed. I began to understand that my experience was not just mine, but an almost universal female experience. And that meant that only if you got together with other women was it going to be affected in any way. We thought, these injustices are so great, surely if we just explain them to people, they will want to fix them.
There was a certain satisfaction in doing something that was going to alleviate the sufferings of women in particular, and I was quite a feminist.
Your biography by Lawrence later, your mother, as you say, died prematurely after bearing 11 children. She
And I naturally didn't want to see women take all the suffering of childbearing.
Women are not going to sit quietly any longer. You are murdering us.
Well, the natural law, they say, is that, first of all, the primary function of sex in marriage is to beget children. Do you disagree with that?
I disagree with it 100%.
Your feeling is what?
My feeling is love and the attraction between men and women. In many cases, the very finest relationship has nothing to do with bearing a child. It's secondary.
one great tribute to the success of the women's movement is the degree of the backlash against it.
In the last, at least the last decade, really ever since the modern wave of the women's movement got started, there has been this counter-reaction or backlash to put women back in their place.
Opinion, the other half of the revolution, the other half of women's liberation movement is the boys in my country and in yours wearing their hair long, you know, and those boys who are wearing their hair long are saying no to the masculine mystique. They are saying no to that brutal, sadistic, tight-lipped, crew-cut, you know, Prussian, big muscle, you know, Ernest Hemingway. Kill bears when there are no bears to kill, and napalm all the children in Vietnam and Cambodia to prove that I'm a man, you know, and be dominant and superior to everyone concerned.
I was under impressions that I could.
Well, these boys that are wearing their hair long are saying, no, I don't have to be all that crew-cut and tight-lipped. I don't have to be dominant and superior to anyone. I don't have to have big muscles because there aren't any bears to kill. I don't have to, you know, kill anybody to prove anything. I can be tender, and I can be sensitive, and I can be compassionate, and I can admit sometimes that I'm afraid, and I can even cry.
It's based on a big lie, if you will, that argues that everything that that the women's movement inspired, that all of women's liberation has yielded women's misery, that true equality has only brought true unhappiness to women. We certainly don't have true equality. Women's pay still greatly lags behind men's. We have a tiny representation in politics. We have one of the worst rape rates in the world.
Just to see you standing there in expectation, woolen coat and blue eyes.